Tuesday's tips and tricks.
Wednesday.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Tuesday's tips and tricks. I'm Chelsea.
I'm Nathaniel.
And today is all about decorating your waterfall.
So behind us is a waterfall that we haven't decorated yet. We're going to tackle that now. And we're going to show you how to actually plant into the waterfall with your water plants. Instead of just having it in a pot sitting in the waterfall, you'll actually get it planted in the gravel.
And this is really nice, especially people that have koi, because koi just don't let you have water plants. So if you put it in the waterfall, they can't get to it and destroy it.
Yep.
So let's get to it. So here's the waterfall we're going to work on. We're going to start pulling weeds out of here, cleaning up the waterfall, and then we're going to start planting in, and we'll tell you all the things that we decide to put up there. This gets a lot of shade, so we're going to try and stay away from any sunny plants. All right, so we've picked out an assortment of water plants that we're going to put in the stream. Not just water plants, we also have some annuals and some tropicals. So let's take a look at those. And here we have
a yerba manza. We've got some creeping jenny or pennywort. We have some lemon bacopa. None of these are a surprise yet. These are all of your normal, what we sell as water plants. Then we've got some sweet potato vine. A lot of people don't realize a lot of annuals can be planted in streams as long as the water's moving. Some impatiens, some yellow sweet potato vine. We even have some wandering Jew starts. And then some parlor palms, which is a house plant. So
now we're going to start planting. So I got a palm here that I'm going to put in the waterfall. And so there's a little bit of a trick to using when you're using house plants and other plants that aren't necessarily bog plants. You have to shake off all of the dirt on the roots when you put them into the water. And I'm just shoving this guy in here like this, and then I'll put the gravel back around him.
this is a very common house plant called a parlor palm.
And then whatever's left, I will just use these rocks to keep it in place. And there you go. Now it's ready for the next thing.
So we're going to put this lemon bacopa right here in the main flow of the stream. And the reason for that is because the lemon bacopa really likes to be wet. You can grow this fully submerged under the water in your pond or in a stream like this. It loves to grow in a stream. So we're going to put it where it can stay wet. And I'm going to take, this isn't so much because we're worried about the plant rotting, but I'm going to take most of the soil off just so it's easier to plant this and make it fit into crevices between rocks. I just try to get the majority of it off into the pot. There's not a lot of depth here, so it's just going to sit right in here, and then I'm going to pin it with rocks. And the current's pretty strong, so I may have to rethink this, but we'll see.
I have to put it on the other side.
I'm going to wrap it on both sides of this rock. So there's the lemon bacopa, and it should start to rise up on its own above the water. These little roots starting to grow out of the stems everywhere. If we leave those exposed, this thing's going to start to wilt. So by laying it in the water like this, it can root out, and then the foliage can find its way up above the water.
So now we've got a sweet potato vine, and they're not as finicky as other plants, but again, you're going to shake off most of the dirt that you can, and there should be a little potato inside, and you'll stick that down in the dirt and inside the gravel.
Another plant you can put in the streams and waterfall to grow in shade really well is wandering Jew. These are just little pieces that have got roots starting on them, and I'm just taking a few at a time and plugging them into crevices. Got a clump stuck right here, and it's just planted in some rock and gravel that stays moist. It doesn't ever really dry out all the way, and that's all it really needs. I could also plant some in the actual flow of the water, and it would root out and grow just fine there too. Gives you some more color in your stream planting. One last tip for you guys when you're planting a waterfall or stream is to be mindful of where splash zones are. Might seem kind of counterintuitive because you think a waterfall, it's splashing everywhere, but actually there's a lot of quiet places where the water's not splashing up where the foliage will be. And that splashing on foliage all day, every day is what will make the plants deteriorate. So if you can plant them in a little corner where they're not getting sprayed constantly, they should thrive.
All right, everybody, here's our beautiful waterfall. We spent somewhere between $100 to $130, depending on what you pick and what you like and how extravagant you're going. We went a little whole hog here. But with just a little bit of money, you can spruce up your waterfall and make it beautiful. So that's your Tuesday tips and tricks. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Tuesday's tips and tricks.
Yeah.